Hi everyone, welcome. This is Mr. Bainey. I wanted to discuss the discussion boards with you. For the most part, you guys did a really nice job during week one, but there's just a couple things that I want to remind you of. You will notice that I gave everyone 20 out of 20 for the first week. I realized that some kids are coming in late, some kids aren't sure what they're supposed to do, so I'm usually forgiving on the first week. In fact, I build that into my course, but I just wanted to remind you that starting for week two, I do start taking away for certain things, so I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, okay? First and foremost, this week, the week at VHS does run from Wednesday morning until Thursday or Tuesday night at 11:59. So that's the dates that I'll be looking for, and I do take off 10% if something's late, and that includes if you do it Saturday morning or Sunday morning. Typically, if you do it over the weekend, I usually take only 5% off, unless you let me know ahead of time, and then I'll allow it. All right. So if you have a wrestling tournament, or if you have a soccer game or a volleyball game or whatever it is, a school play, and you know that you're going to be really busy, just let me know ahead of time. All right. First of all, anytime you send me a private thread in our discussion board, make sure that you label them with the appropriate title, something that relates to what the topic is about. If you are going to submit any assignment through the Dropbox, not through the Dropbox, through the discussion board, or our PT, always start a new thread so it's easier for me to find. This is particularly important if you know that you're going to be running late and the Dropbox is closed. So if you're going to send it to me through a PT, make sure you label it. Okay. Now, on to the discussions. The discussions are meant to be week-long activities. All right, it's not something that you can do at one time, and I'll show you an example. Right now, remember, all of your initial posts should be answered completely. So a lot of times there's going to be multiple questions within that. Make sure that you answer that. I always just copy and then paste it, and then put my answers below, and then I will, erase the actual question and use transitions and tie it together that way. All right. Whenever you do that, make sure that that is turned in every single Friday by 11:59 p.m. Okay. And then your reply posts are 5 points each. So the initial post is worth 10, and your reply posts are worth 5 each. So if you do 2 of them, that will give you 20 points, as long as you answer all the questions and you make substantive statements. Okay. So what I want to see is, I want to see you guys expound on their ideas. I want to see you push them. I want to see you question them. I want to see you challenge them. I don't want you to just simply say, I agree with your statement. I also think that the death penalty should be outlawed, right? Because that doesn't tell me anything. That just tells me that you agree. Okay, it's not enough to agree. I want you to push that idea. Okay. I do love respectful disagreements in the discussion boards. I promise you, I will never be docked for your opinions. All right. In fact, I encourage you to do this. I encourage you to challenge people. If you are being challenged on your discussion board, do not take it personally. Okay. I'm not going to, like I said, no one's ever going to judge you on here. But what we want is, the only way to come to resolve conflict is to have conflict. So, the questions that we're going to be answering and the topics that we're going to be exploring are extremely important in society. All right. We're talking about American criminology. So, things such as gun control, things such as race relations, police brutality, Black Lives Matter, equality under law, Equal Rights Amendment, all of these things come into play. So I want you guys to be very cautious of the language that you use. Okay, racial slurs, equality slurs, gender slurs, nothing will ever be tolerated as such in the discussion boards. All right. So I want you guys to challenge people or challenge ideas. I don't want you to challenge people. Okay. Your weekly discussion boards, there's 2 quick things. Number one, always give them unique titles. So I took this right out of one of my courses, and you can see the name of the lesson was Why Are Laws Needed, and that's what most people put as their title. So mix it up. Use something different, okay? And then down below, I want you to read 75% of all of the posts, all right? You can't just log in and do this on one day and think that you're done, because this is meant to be an ongoing conversation, okay? If you had a friend sleep over and they said 20 words to you when you got there and then didn't talk to you the rest of the night, you'd probably not invite them back to sleep over, right? So I want you to keep checking your discussion boards every single day. Read them as they come in, and if you feel like replying on that day, you can, okay? So it's important that you give them unique titles, and it's important that you read at least 75% of all of the posts that are given. Last, I want you to be very careful about when you post. I want you to look at the login time, or the post times that this young man did. Right? At the very first one, his initial post was done on the 26th at 11:48 a.m. He made his next one, excuse me, on the 26th at 11:53 a.m. And then the last one he made was the same day at 11:58. So he did that entire lesson in 10 minutes, all right? That is what I don't want. And it just so happens that the 26th was a Friday, right? So he did it, thought he was done, and he didn't come back. That is not acceptable. Now, you can make more than just 2 replies. If there's something you want to say, by all means say it, okay? But make sure that you spread them out over 3 separate days. Last, just kind of things I want you to remember is 10 times 2 times 5, or 10 plus 2 times 5 is 20. So that's 10 for the initial post and then 5 points each. On Wednesday mornings, all of the discussion boards lock for the previous week. So make sure that you get them in by Tuesday at midnight. Okay. You do have a 10% penalty for late posts, and then after 1 solid week, then they go down to zeros. Okay. I want you to mix up the people that you reply to every week. Don't just keep replying to your best friend. All right, mix it up. Reminder, read 75% of all your posts. And lastly, I want you to be kind. All right, so you can always start your disagreements with the concept of, or with the words, "I respectfully disagree." All right. And that's one of those things that we're going to be doing the rest of our lives. Obviously, you guys are in. I mean, you guys know how to argue. So make sure that we practice, civil discourse in our class, all right? We are not going to have the same opinions, all right? Not everyone in this class loves Donald Trump, or not everyone in this class hates Donald Trump. There's probably a mixture of both, right? So make sure that you are respectful to each other. So, all right, any questions, let me know. You can always reach out through my PT. And I look forward to a great semester. So we'll talk soon. Thanks.